Hey Jen, thank you so much for being here and of course being a judge in the last NineDots awards round.
I'm super happy to be here. Thank you for having me as your guest judge. It's awesome.
Yeah, it was a really cool round, like really a lot of strong images.
There was a lot of strong images. It was tough.
When I was going through them as well, I was just like, oh man, there's like so many like winners or something, but then
Yeah.
I had to go through it like two, three times just to make sure like whether my decisions were like correct. It's always difficult.
Yes. I think I went through it 3 times as well. Yeah.
Cool. So let's discuss the images that you picked as winners and some that are like honorable mentions, yeah, and why they
Perfect.
were so close.
So I'd like to start with this one because it is absolutely one of my favorites. As soon as I saw it, it was a winner without a doubt. I think something that everyone looks for in a good photo is light moment composition, and this has it all for sure. And the moment is amazing. It's so genuine. Like, this to me is not even remotely staged. It's not put on. It's just pure love in this photo, and I got that right away. So whoever took this did a really stellar job. It's just very natural. The pose, the scene, it's all about them. I love the editing. Her eye is wicked sharp, which is fantastic. And yeah, I love how happy the groom is. And it's still about both of them, even though the focus is on the bride.
Yeah, I love the editing on this as well. To be fair, because your eyes are drawn straight to her face as well, and her eyes, and yeah, it was a winner as well for me.
Yeah, for sure. I love everything about it. I love that her hair is just slightly messy. Like, I'm assuming they're on a beach. It just evokes a lot of happiness here.
Yeah, it's cool.
Very well done.
Defo.
I would I wouldn't change anything about it. Nothing. I love it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. 100%. It's a really good image. Very strong.
Very strong. So another one of my favorites was this one. I just what a stellar moment to catch. There's so much happening here, and it's busy, but yet it's also really simple in the framing, and the way that everyone is in the same line, I think really adds to the simplicity of that. And I love that. I'm assuming it's the bride's hand coming out in that guy's face. I don't know if it's the groom or who it is, but what a great reaction! And every single person is reacting, not in an over the top like way that the photographer made them react, but everyone's really genuine here. Like, this is clearly just a moment that happened. This is not staged. This is fantastic. No one's looking at the camera. I just love it.
Yeah, it's so rare. Like when no one looks at the camera, it's like
I know. There's always one person that looks in one of those crowd shots.
yeah.
So
Always just checking if we're taking a photo or not. Like, I wonder if they've got
yeah,
this.
exactly. I even like the edges, like the way that the people are creeping on the edges, and each person on the edge has such a great expression as well. And I love the camera up in the back. I just love everything about it, and it's very well timed because we all know how that dress shot could have potentially gone, and it's a great shot. Perfect
Yeah,
timing.
it's really good.
Yeah, fantastic. And I love the editing, great flash work, everything about it's awesome.
Cool. Let's roll on to the next one.
All right. I really enjoy this photo. I feel that it's one that the more you look at it, the more you get out of it. I mean, he is just so darn excited and happy. I'm, guessing this is the father of the bride, gonna see his little girl for the first time, and just, you know, I know how happy I have to be, when you're just like so overcome with happiness that you just bring your hands to your face, and it's just, those moments are rare, right? So to capture that in the height of his happiness and just to have a little bit of the bride coming in on the edge is fantastic. And the more I looked at it, the first time I saw this photo, I didn't see, I'm guessing it's probably the flower girl down on the bottom, but I didn't see her the first time. So I feel that it's an image that builds, which is great because that's what you want in an image. It's something that makes you look at it and you're caught, but then the more you look at it, the more you see, the more you want to see, and it just draws you in over and over and over again.
Yeah, 100%. I was exactly the same when I first saw the image as well. I just straight away looked at the father of the bride. So I was like, wow, it's amazing. And
Yeah,
then maybe that's the mother or something as well, having a look. But it
yeah,
took me that on the second, maybe even the third time when I looked at it again, I was just like, oh man, there's a flower girl there creeping in right at the bottom. And so like, it was really
yeah,
cool.
exactly.
It's cool to find that.
Yeah, and I think that the photographer caught just enough of the bride in the corner because you know she's smiling. You've got her ear. You've got that little tendril of hair. You can make it that there's an earring there. Like I think it's just a lovely amount of the bride to have that you know she's there and you know what the father of the bride is looking at, and you're not assuming, like you know what it is, but just in the
Yeah,
most subtle way.
definitely.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty awesome. So this was also one of my favorites. Um, what a moment to catch. Also, I love that the guy in the background also has an
Yeah.
Oreo in his head. This is also something that I feel builds a little bit because I didn't see the Oreo on his head at first. And not only does she have an Oreo balanced on her face, but the way her tongue is wrapping around it is perfect. You know, the bride holding the Oreos, the fact that she has those in her hands, you can see that it is perfectly, it's obviously the Oreos, you can see the packaging. She's reacting. This is just a very well composed moment. It's an amazing moment to catch. Like that takes some skill and timing. So I thought this was really,
Yeah.
really awesome.
I love this photo too.
If I was getting married, if I were that bride and I had that photo of one of my friends, I'd be pretty
Yeah,
pumped.
me too. It's a really good image to capture. I have no idea what the heck they're doing now at this wedding with Oreos and stuff, but yeah, it's like,
It's no tradition that I'm aware of, but it's
yeah,
awesome.
nah, great moment, great moment.
Really great moment. Yeah. Um, so I love this posed photo, but I also love that it is a moment as well. The light is obviously absolutely fantastic. Like everything about this image is warm and dreamy and pretty, and the flowers, you know, that she's holding and in her hair, and the brick and the flowers around them. I just think it is a very beautiful image, but also the fact that what really sold this for me to absolutely be an award winner was not only the way that her dress is falling, but the way that her um, the ties from her hairpiece, how it's falling, and there's just that little bit of separation between those ties and her dress. It's the perfect amount of separation, and that really, really took it over the top for me.
Yeah, yeah, I love this image too. I loved it because of the walls actually, like kind of like lead you into the image. Yeah,
Absolutely,
it's
yeah,
a really good, great image.
yeah, really well composed, everything, and they just look happy and a very cute couple. So, and their heads are perfectly spaced apart, and I really love it a lot.
Yeah, me too.
It was a clear win.
Awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. This I thought was just crazy interesting to look at. I'm guessing the photographer used maybe a prism or something to shoot through, but it's such a great. It would have been a great silhouette on its own, not to have the prism or the mirror or whatever was shot through. But that just adds, you know, so much extra dimension to it. And the fact that the makeup artist's fingertip is just that perfect amount away from the chin really took it over the top. I just love that so much. A little bit of separation.
Yeah, that's what sold me on this image too, you know? Like, it's just so fine, that separation, but it makes it, if it had touched, I don't know, I would have been a bit like, oh man, so close. But it just gives
Yeah.
you that tension.
It's
Like,
so,
it was tension, yeah.
yeah,
It's amazing.
exactly. I love tension in a photo like that. I think it's awesome. And then, like, all the fingers are separated, and you can see the makeup artist ring silhouetted, and I love the edit on it. I love the composition. It's all fantastic.
Yeah, totally agree.
It's very well done. If I'm correct, I don't think this one won an award, but I absolutely loved it. I guess we can call this category maybe honorable mentions. I think this photo is fantastic. I love it's That would have been a nice dress shot on its own, like nice composition, really great tree to work with. But with, I'm guessing that's a little girl standing behind the dress with her little Crocs on, her little purple Crocs, and it just, I feel like it's an image that you can kind of let your imagination run wild with it. Like, is she back there pretending she's the bride? Like, is she just back there hiding? Like, who knows what she's doing? She's being adorable. So I just think it's awesome. It's a way to bring kids into the shot in a unique way.
Yeah, I love like detail shots with like sort of like the human element in it, and it's not just a detail shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you take a shoe shot, like have the bride putting on the shoes, that kind of thing. I think there's a lot of potential with detail shots, and I think this photographer nailed it with this.
Cool.
Yeah. What is the next one here? So this one, fantastic moment. Like, what a great expression. His hand, a little bit of tension there, like we talked about in some of the other photos. He's just about to, grab her hand, and whatever happened during the ceremony, I just love when there's that much emotion that happens. And I do love all the groomsmen and their little streamers and stuff. I think it's a great moment. The only thing that I think I would critique it on to really take it to the next level is just to crop it in a lot more.
Yeah.
I found a lot of negative space that isn't adding to the frame, so just cropping it in that extra bit, I think, would have really taken it over the top.
Yeah, fair enough. I kind of agree with that too, because it's just that head on the right, like it's kind of hidden, but yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit of cropping on the left and the right would have brought that in to just, it would hone in on the moment more.
Yeah, definitely.
This photo I think is awesome, and I think it's a great moment to be having in the limo. I just wish the focus was on them instead of the phone.
Yeah.
And have the phone in the foreground. I love that. I mean, I think it's cool that it shows off her really unique manicure, and you've got her ring and her blingy bling phone, which is awesome. But I think I would have swapped the focus on them. And yeah, because those are great expressions. Whoever they're talking to, they are super pumped to be talking to them. So yeah, that would be my critique on it. But I still think it's a great image.
Cool.
And this one, I mean, what a great moment. I love, love, love when there's confetti, flowers, anything that's thrown after a ceremony. I really think that should happen a lot more than it does, because I always think it's fun. And you've got a lot of flower petals going on here, and really fantastic expression from the groom. That's stellar. The guy with his hands in the air. Like, there's more flowers being thrown at the bride. I love this image. My only critique on it would be that the bride's face is almost completely covered, and the guy on the right, that his hands are cut off. So maybe step back a little bit, or composition a little bit higher and move over just a touch. Like, watch the hand. It's so hard because when they walk down the aisle, people are throwing those petals so quickly, and that moment is over in a blink of an eye. So that being said, I still really love this image.
Yeah, I agree with you.
All right, and my other one that I wanted to talk about was this, because first of all, how rare is it to see a full rainbow like that? And, good on the photographer for having a lens wide enough to capture it, or if they, stitched a pano together. Whatever they did worked, and there's a hint of a double rainbow over on the side, which is amazing. And that's fantastic that the couple wanted to go out and be part of this, because some people, when they're at dinner, they're happy they're doing, dinner speeches, and it doesn't always work out. So this is amazing timing. And clearly at sunset, it must have been a wicked storm earlier. I love it, and I give props to the photographer for being able to capture this. Maybe for me, I guess, maybe a little bit more of a moment happening, have them walking along, like both walking through the frame, kind of picking up her dress, like the bride leading the groom, something like that, just to have a little bit more of a moment in there instead of a posed photo. I think that would be my critique of it. But really well done.
Yeah, it was amazing to get that rainbow in, for sure.
I know, how hard is that? Like, you see rainbows at weddings and it does not end up like this.
Never. But no, yeah,
No.
100% agree. Like a moment or something happening would have like set this image off completely.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, so those were the ones that I really, really loved.
So, just like last thing before we sign off, like what were you looking for when you were, when you were going through these images? Like, what made you pick the winners?
I mean, the best photos are definitely the trifecta of light, moment, composition, which is what everyone strives for and looks for. For me, moment is the winner of everything. If you can catch an amazing moment, obviously you want the other two in there as well, but something that's a really fantastic moment that can't be repeated again really takes it over the top for me. And if you've got, great light and composition along with that, then it's a winner in my books for sure. So those were definitely moment above everything for me. And then the other two follow suit closely behind. And something that I haven't necessarily seen before. Something that's unique to them, unique to the couple, that, not a posed moment, or if it is posed, to have, their personalities in it, something like that. So that's what I always go for.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to go through some of these images, and
Thank
also
you, guys.
for being a judge.
Thank you. I'm so happy that you asked me. It's an honor.